Hello. So in our video this week, we are required to expand on one of the modules from class and educate our classmates beyond the information we already gained from class. The module I want to expand on is from week 5, culture diversity and communication. For question number 1, we're asked to talk about how our paper will expand that class module information. In my paper, I will be expanding on culture diversity in the workplace. For question number 2, the theories I discovered while researching this topic is the meanings of melting pot and tossed salad between cultures. I know we didn't learn about the words melting pot and tossed salad, and I thought those were really interesting words that explain culture diversity. I learned that melting pot signifies cultures coming together and tossed salad signifies cultures maintaining their own beliefs and lifestyles separate from other cultures. As I further explain these words in my final paper, I am gaining a deep understanding of how cultures choose to come together and how cultures don't choose to come together, but rather choose to maintain their own beliefs and lifestyles separately from other cultures. As for question number 3, the parts that culture diversity would be the transmission of a message from the sender to the receiver. Excuse me, I'm sorry. When two different cultures communicate, the transmission of their message can struggle greatly in the workplace if they do not try in the least to come together. They would need to be a melting pot and come together, as I mentioned earlier. And if they choose to be a tossed salad, by maintaining their own beliefs and lifestyles separate from each other, they will in turn suffer and have major difficulties through oral, written, and even visual communication with each other. The advantage of choosing to be a melting pot would bring culture diversity in the workplace, greater diverse productivity, and diverse talents. And the disadvantage that a tossed salad would bring for culture diversity in the workplace would be a language barrier. And we know that with language barriers, when individuals are not understood or become misunderstood, that can bring conflict, heightened emotional responses, or even isolation. And that, with those things, that can bring forth and cause very poor productivity in the workplace. So, in conclusion, I'll be answering question number 4, which is, how is the information I've given for my final paper? Which is how the information I have given for my final paper will help my classmates to better communicate in the workplace. Just like when we learned in class, I think my paper clearly states how important culture diversity is when it comes to proper communication. With the terms melting pot, which again signifies cultures coming together, and the term tossed salad, which again signifies cultures maintaining their own beliefs with lifestyles separate from other cultures, I believe gives very clear meaning to what it takes to have a functional environment in our workplace, our place of work. It's so easy for us to just stick with what we know and with what we think we know, but in the end, it's not going to bring a higher productivity because we'd be separate from, our other coworkers in our workplace. It could actually take a chunk of time and bring mistakes because there will not be proper communication between everyone. So, with this information, we can come to assume and believe that when coworkers set aside their differences and beliefs and practice active listening, their workloads are made easier and spread more equally. I know when I worked at SeaTac Airport for about 3 years, there was a ton of diversity, so many different cultures and races. And I am so thankful that I was not a judgmental person. I like to think I did practice active listening. because of that, I got along with everyone. It made work fun and interesting. I got to learn how each individual used their own knowledge when completing work tasks and assignments. And that even gave me tips, how to do things differently that ended up being faster or more productive. So because of my personal experience, I can vouch that cultures coming together as a melting pot and practicing active listening is a lot more resourceful in the workplace rather than us being separate in our beliefs as a toss salad.